Hello and welcome to Friday Finds with Rob Meyer-Kukan.
Hello and welcome once again to Friday Finds. I'm Rob Meyer-Kukan, and I'd like to introduce to you a familiar face on this show, Susan Hong, who was our very first guest. So good morning or good afternoon or whatever time of day. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Rob. Nice to be back.
It's nice to see you. So for those who didn't get to see the first episode, or for those who weren't on our first live video that we did, tell us who you are and where you're located and what you do.
Sure. I've been just very fortunate with all my Facebook teacher friends that got to know my work, but I am an independent piano teacher in San Antonio. I've been teaching here since 2005, but I've been teaching since 15, so very long time. And it just happens that I started to take back on, sketching and making, coloring book pages out of web. And here we are after a couple of years later. I have my own website and I have a bit of a follower with the teachers and friends. So I feel very fortunate. And then I'm happy to be back here talking to you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your coming back again and telling us about what is new in your world. So why don't you share with us the new thing or things that you have created and how you're using them and some ideas about how we can use them?
Yes. So since last we talked, it was a musical coloring book 1, but now I have come up with a coloring book 2 just recently. So I'll give you a little peek on that. Here is the second cover of the musical coloring book, Musical Mandala Coloring Book 2. And then I'll give you guys a little peek because I absolutely love my little Mr. and Mrs. Now. And this book has 2 extra bonuses. I think the first book I had 6 pages of mandala coloring pages. This one has 6 pages plus 2 more. And I will give you guys a little peek since that was a bonus part of it. And I'm a night owl, so I literally made this about 1 a.m.
Wow.
Apparently, I kind of become bright and more creative after midnight. So all the night owls out there, you guys get me. And then this is the, of course, base clef to it. So this is a new thing at this point, and I'm consistently trying to make some more flashcards for our piano students. And eventually, it'll be a full alphabet set in the future. But just right now, as you know, full-time job, running a blog and a website is just a little crazy.
Yeah.
That's new. And then I'll just give you a little quick peek at the Halloween one since it's only a few days away. And this is a mini coloring book, which consists of letter A to G. And then, with, of course, the theme of Halloween plus, let's get there, Halloween plus music. So which you don't find everywhere, on the website.
Right. So tell us, how did you get involved in drawing and sketching and art? I think that you did Facebook Live a little bit about this.
Yes. So it's kind of funny. I always feel like talk to all my friends and to you guys, it feels like a full circle because I actually were nominated. You know how like yearbook, they're like best artist or best musician. I was actually voted in my high school as best musician and artist. So the fact that I'm still doing this, let's not talk about what year I graduated, but full circle because I'm still teaching piano and I still love to this day since age 15. And also that I'm going back to drawing again, it's almost like a dream come true. But the way it all started was if others haven't seen the first one or other Facebook Live with me, literally I sat in front of the TV because I've been looking for a coloring book to just relax and color. And there's nothing out there on the web or to even purchase for me to do that was related to piano. So little sat in front of the TV, I actually YouTubed how to draw like mandala on YouTube. I'm like, oh, I got a bottle cap that's still drawing the circles. And that's how it all started. And it's crazy how it's come from that moment of my life to now. It's just incredible.
Yeah, and you have quite the following of folks who are just eating up all of the really great resources that you're creating. So
I tell you guys all the time, I don't take anything for granted. I just feel so fortunate that you guys have been with me for like last 2 years and kind of followed me from the every step that I've taken from making coloring pages to meeting, Heather Rathna from Theory Time. And that book is still, ongoing project, hopefully soon, and to this point. So I thank you guys all the time for your support, love, and encouragements, because you guys are one that said, you could do it. We can't wait for the next one. So that kind of fuels me up to go forward, even though I'm exhausted sometimes from teaching.
Yeah, it's good to have some balance of a hobby, but a hobby that's tied to something
Yes.
you love.
Yes, and the most important thing in any of life, someone's life aspect, is like you have to do what you love. Otherwise, maybe you should seriously think about changing your profession.
Right, right. I remember some early trusted advisors saying to me, well, what are you going to do for balance? What are you going to do as a hobby or whatever that you love? What do you really love? And I remember saying, music. And they said, then you need to take up gardening or yoga or something, and find that thing that separates you. So this sounds like you were able to put together two things that you really love.
Yes, and then I do garden just a little bit. If you see my Instagram.
I have seen, yes. Awesome. So if people don't have the abilities to bind the books or don't have the resources to necessarily take it to a printer and have it like comb bound or spiral bound, what is a simple way that people can use to bind these books together to give them out as gifts or freebies or giveaways? Do you have a
Yes,
good solution for that?
you bring it up. I have it right here, and wanted to share because I've been putting Instagram photos of some of my ID badge hole punch, but simply, let's see if I could get you to. If you could see, it's really, I use regular hole punch that we buy for like $2 at Target.
Mm-hmm.
Hole punch it, get your favorite ribbon, just like so, right here. And then all you do is just tie the knot. And then it just makes a good presentation. I think even if you wanted to give it to your friends or your students as a birthday gift or a Christmas gift, I think the presentation is everything. If you just copy it in black and white, which is just cheapest, and then hand over to them with pages versus when you make a beautiful ribbon like this, but they're not much, as you could tell.
Yeah.
It just makes such a nice presentation, and it makes it feel like, and for me, I personally get these printed at Office Max with the teacher discount, and then I use only the cardstock paper just because it feels like a book when you hand it over to them versus like the cheaper copy print.
Right.
I think it was only like 20 pounds,
Yeah.
but so far all the kids have enjoyed it that I've given to as a birthday present, and then they appreciate it because certainly you just can't go to Barnes and Nobles and buy this. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it's special for them.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it is you can customize the ribbon. So all of a sudden it becomes
Yeah.
a Christmas gift or a fall gift or a spring gift or a recycle
Yeah.
gift.
Halloween little mini ones. I actually have those candy corn. I don't know. Let's see if I could show it to you guys for
That's
Halloween.
adorable.
But I'm working on to making the Christmas ones, hopefully sometime in November, and you could start to change the festive Christmas ribbons to add to it for both of them to make it more like for holiday seasons.
That's awesome. You're super creative, and I'm so happy that you have this resource available. I said in the first video that I don't think the audio came through on that.
Okay.
That this was going to be studio Christmas gifts.
Right.
Last year, I created songbooks for everyone with pieces that I had selected from downloads with studio license, and that was really fun. But I think this is going to be a neat and creative thing to give as well. And it works really well for my nieces and nephews who are all very musical too. So
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be like for musicians. It could really be for anybody. And the fact
yeah.
that this is studio license, you can make it forever, okay? As much as you want. If you want to make even a million copies, you're allowed to.
That's great. That's very cool. So tell us, how much does the Musical Mandala Coloring Book cost?
Yes, so it's a $15 for studio license. As I said, that just means that you can make as many print as you want. And then feature books is going to be about $15, but I will have something that's like the mini coloring book. and these are much cheaper. These are going to be $6, and then same thing. It's unlimited studio copies, so you can make as much copies you want. And sometimes having the little ones versus big ones that make a difference to kids actually enjoy the cute ones versus the big ones.
Yeah, that's a really cool option too. It's something just little to give away and a bigger thing for something more significant. That's cool. So how do people reach you, or how do people purchase these?
Yes, luckily I was able to purchase my own name domain. It took me about 5 years because it was already taken and it was finally released. So it's
Really?
nothing more than susanhong.com, and then you could just do an online shop right there. Very easy.
And if people want to reach you, how do they get a hold of you personally?
Yes, they could contact me via Facebook, Instagram, and if you go to susanhong.com, there's a contact page. If they want to ask me any questions or contact me for just say hi, you're more than welcome to send me any messages.
Excellent. Beautiful. And I always end my interviews by asking the guests on the show to give me some words of wisdom, to give us words of wisdom. And it can be something serious or something silly, something related to what we're talking about. You gave us spectacular words of wisdom at the first interview. And we chatted a little bit, and you have some other inspiring words that you'd like to share with us. So why don't you give those for us now?
Sure. I mean, it's just simple. I've seen an I think documentary on ESPN, and it was about Coach Bell, and his story just inspired me so much. And he always said, "Never give up." There's so many like people that want to bring you down, who's either jealous or who's just have a negative in their life, and just brush it off. Don't let it bring you down. Let it fuel you, and then bring you forward to the next level. And that's my advice today.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I really appreciate it. And thank you for joining me again today to talk about your wonderful products. You hinted at some Christmas things. Is there a Musical Mandala Book 3 in the works?
Yes, so it's going to be different than just Mandela because I already had done 2 books on it. So this will be different format of more patterns, but it is in the works, and hopefully you'll have it before the end of November.
Wow, you are a busy lady.
I appreciate the work.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, I am very thankful for you. I'm thankful for social media that connected us, and that we are friends in that way. And thank you again for visiting the show today. If you are watching on YouTube or social media and you like what we were talking about today, give it the good old thumbs up. That helps other people to see this show, this interview. And if you're watching on YouTube or on social media, click the subscribe button or click the follow button on social media and connect with us that way. If you do that, then you will find out when these videos come out every Friday or any other time that I post a video. And that helps me too to know what topics are being enjoyed the most. So like the video, subscribe, and thank you again, Susan, for joining us. And if you're watching on Friday, have a wonderful weekend. If you're watching at another day, have a great and wonderful week. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Join me next week for a very special Black Friday edition of Friday Finds with Rob Meyer-Kukan.